Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today, I'm going to be talking and giving a general overview on electricity. So, let's get started. So the first thing you want to know is where do you craft all this stuff? The MEL processor. This is where you will have all your electrical things and traps, turrets, and mining equipment, pretty much. And you also have your water equipment here too. So I will talk about one other video on the water stuff, but right now I'm just talking about like electricity, not including turrets or traps or anything, just the general parts of it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is obviously MEL processor, and now we're going to go to where do you get your power. So the main area you're going to want to get your power, there's a few different sources. You have the generator. Let me pull all this stuff up. So you have the generator, you have the bike generator, the solar generator, and the wind generator. So if we go and put all these down, just like that. Alright, so we have 4 different sources. We have 2 that you do not require anything to run, and then you have 2 that do require something to run. So we're gonna start over here on the left. The wind is pretty much you place it down, and if you pull out your wiring tool, you have an output that gives 42 electricity. This will depend how much wind, the location you're at, and how high it is. The solar, it gives obviously it's not giving any right now. This will be for things only when it's during this day. You will probably want to have a battery. I'm gonna make a whole nother video, a little short on a little cool trick you can do with the solar panels, but I'll do that in a second. So pretty much this is only for the daytime, and it will depend on how much electricity it gives, what time of day it is, what direction it's facing, or like how close to the sun it is. You're probably gonna want to face it like south-ish, probably, because then most of the day you'll be getting the sun. And then we go to the bike generator. As you can see, you have to be sitting on it to be able to generate electricity. You don't have to click a button or anything. You literally just sit on it. So yeah, that's the bike generator. Then if you go to the generator, this one requires gasoline to run. It will power 420, I believe, when it's on, 420 power or something. So it's one of the better sources. The only issue is obviously gas. So yeah, those are the 4 main ones that you'll be needing. So pretty much now we're gonna go to some of the more basic things. For example, batteries. So from left here is the weakest battery, to the right here is the strongest battery. This battery can hold 4 times more. This battery is equal to 4 of those batteries, and this battery is equal to 4 of those batteries, obviously. So these batteries are things for, especially if you're being raided or you somehow, for some reason, lose one of these things. As long as you're always charging a battery, you'll have at least a little bit of electricity until you get those back up. Okay, so now we're gonna go to switches. Switches, pretty simple. You have an input and an output. If you press F on it, it will turn on the light, or whatever it is. It will send electricity from however much you're getting from the input to the output. Okay, now we're gonna go to signal receivers and remote switches and things like that. So if I go up to it, you'll see that if you hold F, you have start and stop. That it's pretty much a switch. It's wireless. So this, it would act like a normal switch. If you reset, you have a code. So let's say I would delete these and put 0808 or something. Confirm. While you switch, you will see that 0808 on. I see. On, turns it on, off, turns it off. You can do this from anywhere. Let's say I was over here or halfway across the map. On, off. pretty cool little thing. You can use this for maybe if you have a garage door or something that you want to open as you're coming, or something like that, or maybe a turret you want to turn on, or lights you want to turn on as you're driving up to make sure no one's outside your base. You can call your switch, put in the code. I would recommend deleting this code every time, because then if, let's say, you were to get killed and someone were to take this code is probably going to save. And, well, whatever you have attached to, if it's just lights, it's not a huge deal, but still would be annoying. So, going on to the next thing, we have the AND, NOT switch, and OR switch. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here. So for the AND switch, as you can see, both these have to be on to get power. So this and that and have to be on for this to go. This one has to be on, and this one cannot be on. So if this one's on, it is designated to the left one. It has to be on for it to work. If this one were to be on, it's not going to send electricity through. This one's on, it'll do it. This one will turn off. So it's this one, not this one. That's how I remember it. It's the left one, not the right one. OR switch, it can be this or that. This is kind of how I remember it. Input, it can be this one, or it can be this one. Doesn't matter how it is, as long as one of them are on. What is this used for? So, the AND switch, it can be used for something like some sort of power checker. So, let's say you have a windmill connected and a solar panel connected. Oh shoot, solar panel goes out. Oh look, it's off. That's just a quick little example. The NOT switch. Let's say this one were to be on and off, right? This would just be connected to like a power source or something. Let's say this one was on, right? And this one was off. So let's say this one is a sensor. Okay, sensor gets power, turns this off, or other way around, you know, maybe this one's on, and when the power gets off, you can have like a little switch around. Boom, T flip-flop, you can make a T flip-flop, and boom. And now it's on. Telling yo, shoot, someone's at the door, and then it turns back on. Okay, OR switch. This can be useful for pretty much combining. I would call it a combiner. So, you have two power sources. You can take a power source, put here. You get double the amount of input. Combine. Yay, let's go. So, yeah, that's what I would use the OR switch for. You would probably use it for other things too. So, what's next on the list? We have splitters. What are splitters used for? They're used for taking the input and pretty much splitting it in between three different outputs. So, you get an input generator or solar panel, put in here, and then pretty much split it into three different things. And you can daisy chain this too. Now remember, every time you do this, you're going to have less and less power the farther you go. So what you would want to do is, let's say you have some lights and some turrets and some other things you have to do. If it needs more power, put it more towards the starting point of this, so which would be the right one in this case. So the generator is connected here. This one's going to have the most power, so you probably want to hook your turrets up to this, and then your lights, you probably want to go as far left as you can, and anything in between would be anything that requires a medium amount of electricity. So then for the next thing, we're going to talk about where is it? We can talk about the contact switch. Let me pull that up real quick. So this is the contact switch. So what is it? You press F on it, tap F, it will send an output. So as you can see, there is two outputs. There is same with this thing. If you look over here, you have two outputs. One of them is your signal output, which is the signal output is pretty much just your whatever this does. Whenever you send a signal, it sends out power or not. The output is pretty much like in lights. You have an output. It's always sending electricity. Whether it's on or off, it's pretty much just a pass-through. This one also has a pass-through, as you can see right here. This can be used for, let's say you have a few of them, maybe different buttons. This one gives power just to the next one, so it has power. And then when you press F, it turns on and off. This can be useful for resetting a system, or Like, let's say you have a system that's like supposed to count up or something. You have a counter that goes click, tick, tick, adds time every second or so. You have like a timer or something going on there. What you can do is you can use that button somehow and reset that timer, or something like that. You can also use it for quick bursts of energy if you need it for something. Maybe you need to test a light switch or something. You can press F on there to turn all the lights on or off for a second, just to make sure everything works. So yeah, that's kind of what that's for. So for the most part, I have covered most of electricity. I will probably make a follow-up video. There's also other things, traps and stuff. I'll probably go on another video. You have some things that's like the pressure plate, which is pretty much the same thing as the contact switch, except you have to stand on it. So that's pretty simple to understand. So then this coupler right here is like the OR gate, but it's meant for, you can use the OR gate for other things too, but the coupler is just a opposite splitter. It combines things. So if I were to craft one real quick, I'll craft that real quick. You also have the expanded coupler. So if I pull out this coupler real quick, take this and place it down, you'll see it has 3 inputs and 1 output. This is better than probably the OR switch, but it really depends what the situation is you're using. So yeah. Then you also have the coupler. You will see that you have a lot of inputs and an output. So the coupler is useful for combining a lot of things into one output. So what you can do here is, this would be useful for something like an AND switch or something, especially if you somehow make a way to where it has to have a certain amount of power to turn on the switch or something. That would be extremely useful. So then maybe all these have to be on to give power or something. But that's most of the electricity things described in a nutshell. If you probably want to go on a server and just start testing to be able to find out on how they work a bit more in detail and make some little tips and trick things, you know. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye. Please subscribe.